Hey, how are you guys doing? It's been a while. I'm looking at my fabric in the back there while I'm talking to you guys. Anyway, summer is here. Although we've been getting like a lot of rain in Canada. Anyway, well, in the part of Canada that I'm in. But my family and I are going on vacation. We're overdue for a vacation after this pandemic. I am longing to go somewhere, and I decided that I would do some new pieces. So today I'm going to sew a dress out of this eyelet fabric that I've been holding on to for the longest time. I really don't want to cut it a lot, so I actually was in my shower about 30 minutes ago, and I think I came up with what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to do the shirring, where you sew rows of elastic, but I also didn't want to cut it up a lot. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna stand, this is gonna stay like this. I'm not touching that. And I'm gonna share, that's part of my mother's name. I'm gonna share the top, maybe up to the waist. Then I'm gonna cut it a little lower down because on the bottom end here also has that scallop edge. But I want to keep this as the hem, but I also want, I don't know, maybe like a 6-inch piece at the bottom with a little gather, not a lot. I have no pattern. The idea is all in here, and I think that's what I want to do. And maybe make some straps that I can tie. I've never had a dress like that, so I want to do a dress that has straps, long straps that I can tie, and it just like falls. That's the idea I have in my head. We'll see how it goes. So let me get my measuring tape. I know the first thing that I'm supposed to do is measure my bust. And I have no problem measuring myself online. It's my measurements. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of it. And you shouldn't be either. So, just like my age, I don't have a problem telling people my age. So, this is 42. It's very loose, so maybe I'll go 41. And I have on a bra, so there. 41, I can still get my thumb. There it is. There's a lot of room still. I can still get my thumb in there. Maybe I should do 40. It has, there. Yeah, that's 40. And I still have room. So, you take your bust measurement and you multiply it by 1.5. So that will give you the extra for the gathers. You could probably do 1.75. I personally wouldn't do twice the amount because that'll just be like way too much gathers. So 40 times 1.5, and then I'm gonna cut that length for my bodice. Well, the width, I should say. So let's turn the camera around. I should sit because it's chopping off my head. Let's turn the camera around and I will show you how I do that. We're back. All right, so 40 times 1.5 is, any guesses? 60. So 60 inches of fabric to be gathered down to 40. So I have this on the fold, and I'm gonna measure 30. I personally think 1.5 is good enough. Let's see what 1.75 is. 40 times 1.75, 70. That just sounds a lot. Still not enough. See, I have 2 rolls of this elastic. I'm using that elastic because I am not going to the store to buy elastic thread, and I hate working with elastic thread. I really do. So elastic it is. I am gonna put a little extra because I did not straighten this fabric and I could see it being off already. So like it started up here and down at the bottom it's like an A. So there it is. I will straighten it, but after I cut. So that's 32 there. Let's do, I feel like, I know this width or length, however you want to call it, from the top of the scallop to the bottom, it's like long enough. It's too long for what I want. Like it's a nice midi length, but I don't know if I want midi. But after I gather it, I would see how it looks, and then I will go from there. So where is it? It is not straight at all. Okay. Don't like that. Okay. I think I should get my ruler. Where is my long ruler? Trying to straighten it too much, and then I end up with less than 30. Okay. All right. So that is 30 at the top, and I'm gonna just measure. You probably won't see in the screen, but I'm just gonna measure 30 at the bottom and then just cut it. So where's my chalk? Oh, this is the pattern from the last dress I made. This is, I don't even know how I got this. I think I bought it there in Value Village. So it's vintage, obviously, and that is the dress I made from it. Okay, back to this dress. So that dress is for my vacation. All right, 30, I'm gonna cut it 31, just to make sure. Always better to have extra. Too much and have to cut off than too little. Okay. Next step is just to add rows of elastic. So I don't know if I'm going to draw lines. I don't think I'm going to draw lines. I'm just going to go to the machine and start stitching and pull the elastic while I'm stitching, and that way it will start gathering as I do. So let's head to the machine and sew. Okay, I decided before I started adding the elastic that I should cut off the piece that I want to add at the bottom. So this is I want like a really nice frill at the bottom. So I feel like 8 inches looks good. I'm just like playing it by ear. I feel like 9 would be a lot. Again, this idea is in my head, so. But again, if I put 9, I can always cut it off if I think it's too big. So maybe 9 is what I should go for. And then I could always cut it off if I need to. So 9 it is. Because I always have to remember seam allowance also. And I probably need another one of this. So I'll cut off the bottom of the other piece of fabric that was left remaining. I will cut off 9 inches there also and just join it together to have more gathers. That's what I would do. There's a lot of threads here that I have to cut. Okay, now I'm going to the machine. I decided to cut the elastic into strips. That way I know they're all the same size when I'm pulling it. What I did was I put the elastic around my breasts to see how it feels, if it feels comfortable enough, and then I just cut it that size. So this is 32 and a half or 32 this length. So let's go. I'm gonna use a zigzag stitch. So let me get the, and I'm just eyeballing this, guys. Like, I'm not drawing a line. The only thing I can decide is, do I want to start the elastic here and leave? I feel like I want to do that. Is that too big, or should I start it here? I just think here it won't gather like nicely because of the embroidery that's there. So I think I will sew below the embroidery. If it doesn't look good, I can always add the row above it. So let's change to zigzag, and let me see how wide it is. Okay, I needed a little bit more space. Let's see. Okay. And then just pull the elastic. Actually hold the thread in the back. Now I'm gonna just put the elastic to the end here to make sure like I get it even. There you go. And then I'm just gonna hold it there and just sew. I personally think I'm gonna like this more than the elastic thread because those things pop after a while. Sometimes you're putting it on and it just pops. So and I'm not putting the elastic where the holes are. At least that's not my plan. Let's see how the plan goes. Let's see how this looks. Oh, I love this. Oh yeah. Oh, this is adorable. The only question is, where is my next row going to be? Because I don't want it too close. So maybe I'll put it like an inch apart. I don't know. We'll see. This is how I sew. I just see if I like it. If I don't, rip it out. To the end. I think I want a little bit of elastic sticking out past that. That didn't happen, so the elastic is right on the edge of the fabric. There. Maybe I should put on the light. Okay, that's my first row. I'm gonna go ahead and sew through the rest, so I'll put that on the video. No sense you guys sitting and watching me sew, but I love how big the frill is at the top. Absolutely love that. And I'm gonna get out my Alright guys, I have sewn all the elastic on. I think it ended up being 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so 12 rows. I did end up going back and putting one on the top because when I put it on, it was like flopping over. So I was like, okay, put one there. Now, remember that piece that I cut off for the frill at the bottom? Well, now I'm going to cut off more of the dress itself because I'm adding that frill. So I'm going to cut off 9 inches and see if I like the length. And if I want it shorter, I will cut off more. So that's 9 inches there. You could use this for the straps. Now it looks like a top. But once this piece is gathered and sewn back, it's gonna add the length back to it. So heading over to the machine and get this piece gathered. I'm also going to sew seam down the back and then just attach the frill to the hem. So let's go do that. So this is my gathering foot, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm hoping that the fabric with all that embroidery can go through it and work. If not, I'll have to gather it by hand. Ugh. Anyway, so let's see if this works. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, it went in. Why are you not moving? Clearly doing something wrong, guys. Okay, something is wrong. Ha! I wasn't supposed to put it through the foot. That's for if you're attaching your other part of your garment to it. There you go. It's gathering now. I know you're supposed to calculate, do some math to like figure out, but I don't do any math. I just gather it, eyeball it when I'm stitching it. I do have my stitch length on 6. I think the bigger, let's see. Yeah, I'm getting nicer gathers when it's on 6. Now I have it on 3.5. And I don't like, I like it on 6. Okay, so my frill is all gathered. I ran another stitch around it and pulled it in. And I have decided to stitch it on top of the hem of the dress just to add detail. So that's what I'm going to do. I have it pinned here. And see there, that's the end of my dress. I'm just going to stitch it down on top of it just to add a nice little detail to it. So that's what I'm going to do. And after that, it's just straps. I think I may cut a piece of orange fabric and put it on the inside for lining. I have to see what I have in my stash first, but that could always just be attached to the top of the dress, and then I will put the straps on and it will be finished. Okay, now I'm on to the straps. These are 4.5 inches wide. I'm just gonna fold it in half, good sides facing each other. I'm gonna start here and just stitch like 1/4 inch I'm just lining up the edge of my foot with it. I have 2 of these. I don't know how long it is. This was just the cutoff from the dress, so they were 9 inches. I split it in half. And I'm just gonna stitch it all the way to the end and finish this end. Then I'm gonna cut this in half. So I will have 2 straps from each. It's more than long Okay guys, here she is. Here is the bottom. I absolutely love the amount of gathers. And I have a piece of orange fabric in my stash. I don't know if it's gonna work. Otherwise, I would just buy orange cotton to keep cool. These straps are not sewn in. They're just pinned in. When I try on the dress, I'm gonna adjust, see if I need to cut off. I did cut off 6 inches from each strap and it still looks long, but we're gonna see when I try it on if I need to cut off any more. But yeah, this is the dress. You can see my other dress there. And let me turn my squeaky lady. And that's the back. And I will line it once I get cotton. I have to go through my stash, see what I have before I buy anything. But yeah, so this is my next summer dress. I still have 2 more to make. Okay, see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.